Good evening and thank you for watching News 8 Now this weekend. I'm Jeremy Wall. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the country holds its head in sorrow following the deaths of 3 Israeli hostages at the hands of IDF soldiers. He calls it an unbearable tragedy. This as U.S. officials met with Palestinian Authority leaders to discuss the future of the Gaza Strip. CBS's Kristen Benavides reports.
Among the thousands who've been killed during Israel's assault on Gaza, 3 Israeli hostages mistakenly shot by IDF soldiers, funerals already being held. Israeli officials say the 3 were waving a white flag. A preliminary investigation found the soldiers broke the rules of engagement.
Put the best offer on the table to get the hostages back alive.
Scores of Israelis, along with families of the hostages, were out on the streets in Tel Aviv over the incident, demanding Israel do more to bring the hostages home. Claiming full responsibility, the IDF said the incident is under investigation. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke Saturday. We will learn the lessons, we will apply the lessons, and we will not let go of the military and political effort to release the hostages. The victims include 25-year-old motorcycle enthusiast Samar Talalka, 28-year-old Yotam Hayim, who filmed this video the morning of October 7th. When Hamas gunmen rampaged through his community before abducting him, and 26-year-old Alon Shamris, a computer engineering student. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan in the region this week met with Israeli officials along with Palestinian Authority leaders.
Ultimately, the control of Gaza, the administration of Gaza, and the security of Gaza has to transition to the Palestinians.
The U.S. has been pressing Israel for a timetable to end this phase of the war and move to more targeted raids of Hamas leaders to avoid civilian casualties in Gaza. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
Netanyahu hints at possible Gaza talks. He says he told Israeli negotiators military pressure helps efforts to recover hostages. All right, let's send it over to Bill with the...
Yeah, it was a cloudy, gray, and damp day across the region. Temperatures topping out in the upper 30s to lower 40s for most, including 41 in La Crosse, 44 in Eau Claire, 39 for you folks in Winona and Viroqua, 41 in Sparta, and 41 in Prairie du Chien. The main story tonight, the fog. You can see that in downtown La Crosse through City Cam 8, out on Interstate 90 in Onalaska. Yeah, that visibility is reduced. So if you're going to be out and about tonight, use caution because visibility below a mile, in fact below a half mile in many spots, including Eau Claire, Black River Falls, Sparta here in La Crosse, right at a half mile in Prairie du Chien, and less than an eighth of a mile over in portions of Fillmore County around Preston, Minnesota. A dense fog advisory is in effect for parts of the area far south until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. But as you saw through our city cams, there is widespread fog all across the region. In fact, our visibility tracker shows visibility a problem till early tomorrow morning, then it quickly mixes out by about, say, 9 or 10 o'clock. Otherwise, clouds, those rain showers and drizzle activity, most of it starting to shift to the east and wind down. Current temperatures between about 36 and 38 degrees in most spots. They're not going to move all that much tonight. Not overly cold. Lows in La Crosse around 35. I'll have the rest of my 8-day forecast that's coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Bill. It's the season of giving. Today, leaders and volunteers work together to make sure nobody is hungry this holiday season. This morning, the Onalaska School District hosted its annual holiday meal drive. News 8 Now's Shaquille Davis tells us how they're helping others. Shaquille.
Jeremy, this annual holiday meal drive has been going on for 20 years, and it's grown over that time. Tonight, we spoke with one of the organization leaders who shared why they're so passionate about helping others.
What about tuna?
That was extra. Okay. We want our families to have a nice, relaxing break. And if they're worried about breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then that kind of works against that. And so we hope that this helps them.
Andy Volger has been the coordinator for the Onalaska Holiday Meal Drive for the last 7 years, but she remembers what it originally used to look like.
It started out just as a quote-unquote turkey drive for families a number of years ago, probably almost 20 years ago when I first came to the district.
Now you can get full meals and even groceries.
Festival Foods helps me with the order. They get me great prices on all the groceries. They put together the order for me.
When the order is put together, her volunteers do the rest.
About 50 people usually show up to help bag the groceries and then drive and deliver to the houses.
And it only takes about 20 minutes of their time. Each driver will take 5 bags of groceries to deliver to the families that signed up via a survey sent out by the district office.
They see what the food is that they can get with this meal, and then they sign up for what they would like.
Some of these groceries could include cereal, pasta, onions, potatoes, and even chicken broth. But there's one meal that is on the menu that is for everybody.
Everybody gets turkey. Yeah, exactly.
Now, Dahl Automotive also teamed up with the Holiday Meal Drive this year and made a generous donation. Because of them, families were able to get double the groceries this year. Jeremy, sending it back to you, my friend.
All right, thanks, Shaq. The Pagin Society of the Cooley region teamed up with the Bronze Dragon to host a BIPOC Santa event. BIPOC, known as Black Indigenous Person of Color, brings people together of all religious beliefs. It gets them in the holiday spirit by collecting presents for Toys for Tots, along with pictures with Santa and Krampus. They hosted a holiday market with art, gifts, and decorations.
I really love the fact that we have an all-inclusive event and that we can see Santa and Krampus together, and that Santa doesn't have to be a white man.
They were able to collect over 50 presents for Toys for Tots. Christmas arrived a little early for some kids. Today, more than 500 families received gifts from Toys for Tots. The nonprofit was started by the Marines in 1991 and distributes toys to less fortunate children. Toys were giving out this morning at the Family and Children's Center. According to volunteer Lindsay Langer, the toys went to more than 1,300 kids. Langer tells News 8 Now what her favorite part of Toys for Tots is.
Usually it's just how gracious the parents are, the families are, guardians, whoever. They're very, very appreciative, and normally they have lots of kind things to say, and they're very excited about it.
News 8 is also a sponsor of Toys for Tots. A Christmas village in Sparta is bringing joy to the Cooley region. The North Pole Magic in Miniature is illuminating the Monroe County Local History Room and Museum. The display features more than 100 animated miniature buildings and hundreds of playful little figures. The collection comes from Joan Cook. Cook was a board member of the museum who collected the pieces for 17 years.
After she passed away, her family gifted them to us. So we wanted to honor Joan, but also celebrate the holidays, and what better way than a huge North Pole mountain.
The museum is open Tuesday through Saturday from 9 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. The North Pole Magic in Miniature will be on display until January 13th. Some Viterbo University students are moving on up. More than 100 students walked across the stage of the Fine Arts Center main theater. 26 graduates and 100 undergraduates received their diplomas. Accounting and music double major Kylie Cron gave the undergraduate student address. In her speech, Cron says she made mistakes, but the mistakes did not interfere with her success. She shares what makes her stronger.
I love to reassure how making mistakes and reflecting on them is the best way to learn and to become more than what you thought possible. I'm not afraid of what made me stronger. If anything, I treasure how I've overcome to become who I am now.
Cron adds, you should never refuse to consult others in your field and to remain a pupil forever, no matter how famous you become.